don't you pop into the fitting room and try it on?
Well, where's Ma Dumbarton?
Oh, you're all right. She's on her tea break.
Oh, whenever would I get a chance to wear anything like this?
You never know.
That's the trouble, I do. Sort of cocktaily, really, isn't it? Oh, there's nothing I like better than them cocktail bars with ice, too, where you can kick your shoes off and sit there waving a cherry on a stick.
Well, there's nothing to stop us dolling ourselves up and going out to one if we felt like it, is there?
Oh, you know me, Dot. I never was much of a one for them parties. Oh, no. Straight after this, I'm going out to find out about that house for our Linda. Anyway, it wouldn't go near me.
It's your size.
Aye, in a small fitting. Oh, you don't need to tell me my trouble. It's there for everybody to see. The bloom has gone off me.
First sales lady, please.
Hey, up, Ma Dumbarton's on the warpath.
I suppose the customers could be down the escalators and on the street before you'd stir yourself, Mrs. Greenhalgh. It won't do, you know.
May I help you, madam?
And what is this garment doing off the racks? Is there something wrong with it?
No, I was just making up my mind whether to buy it or not.
Oh?
Oh, what?
Oh, nothing really. I just thought it wasn't quite your style. After all, it is from our teen and 20 range, isn't
Well,
it?
that rules two of us out, doesn't it, Mrs. Dumbarton?
Mrs. Tanner, I really think it's about
Good
time...
afternoon, Mrs. Dumbarton.
Oh, Mr. Fletcher.
I believe you wanted to have a word with me.
Well, I'll just...
Oh, no, don't go. This is Mr. Fletcher. He's a rep from Lady Rebecca Modes, you know. This is one of my sales ladies.
And doesn't the sales lady have a name?
Tanner, Mrs.
Now, you know me, Walter. I'm the last person in the world to complain.
Can you come?
But when it comes...
Oh, Mrs. Tanner, can you come quick?
Did nobody ever tell you it was rude to interrupt somebody when
Well,
they're
it's
talking?
just that-
Is the department by any chance on fire?
No. You see, I was zipping this woman in a sheath frock. Well, I told her it wouldn't go near her, but she wouldn't have it. Stout she is. Well, I've accidentally zipped some of her into it, too, and now she's going through agony in a cubicle.
Excuse me.
Yes, of course.
Don't you, Noreen? How many times have I to tell you that? Go sit.
Never a dull moment, eh? Well, what are these complaints, anyway?
What was the name of the firm you said you were with?
Oh, Lady Rebecca.
Oh, yes. Well, there's been one or two moaning about the finish.
How come you're not wearing a wedding ring?
And how come you've got such a flaming cheek?
You were very insistent on the missus just now.
If you must know, I took it off the day before yesterday.
Had a row with the old man.
Yes. 15 years ago, to be exact.
Oh, that's all right, then.
What's all right?
Got your divorce, then, have you?
No, I haven't, Clever Dick. If you must know, I'm still waiting for it to come through. If you wait there, I'll get you those dresses. They're in the showroom.
What are you doing tonight?
I beg your pardon.
I'm sure you heard me the first time, but I don't mind repeating myself. I said, what are you doing tonight?
I don't see what it's got to do with you. I don't see this has anything at all to do with you.
You enjoy the pictures?
All right, for them who's likes them.
No, but I said to you. That was my question. Do you, fancy 5 Bosworth?
You're married, aren't you?
Not anymore.
I'll get you those dresses.
Of course, if you don't fancy the pictures, we could go out and have a bite of dinner, a few drinks, something like that.
Look, what's the big idea? You won't get any business for Lady Rebecca Modes by taking me out, you know.
Who said anything about business? I certainly didn't. But my car's just across the street from the staff entrance. You can't miss it. Blue and cream two-tone with a Venetian blind in the back. Anyway, when you come out, I'll give you a toot just to make sure.
It just so happens I've got a bit of business myself when I finished here.
Is that going to take all night? Anyway, I'll still see you outside. We'll make arrangements for later on.
Oh, we will we?
I'm so sorry about that, Walter. If you'll come with me to the stockroom, I just...
Yes, well, I'm sorry too, Mrs. Dumbarton. You see,
I don't blame you.
we don't usually have trouble with those lines, but I'll get on to the head office right away and I'll see what I can do about it.
What's up? Have you got a minute?
Aye, why?
Will you come with me into the fitting room? I've had second thoughts about this.
That barrel's been on for days. It must have elastic sides.
Oh, there's still about 4 gallons left in. I took the stick to it at tea time.
Why, wouldn't you just know it? The brewery man's been here this afternoon. This'll go off about 7:30, and then we'll have another empty barrel cluttering up the cellar for a fortnight.
Well, I don't see as how that's going to worry you. How long is it since you went down them cellar steps?
Oh, well, it irritates me.
Oh.
Everything irritates me today.
Oh,
I think I'll have a gin and tonic.
well, nobody's stopping you.
No, nobody's stopping me from that, but they're stopping me from other things.
Who is?
Not this place.
Oh, hey.
I'm sick of it. I'd like to go private.
Oh, you would you?
Yes, I
And whose idea was it to come here in the first place, eh?
Mine, Annie Walker, née Speedwell, and I must have been touched. I never thought we'd be stuck here year in, year out in a place like this. So, well, I saw myself in one of those lovely old-fashioned country pubs. With a lovely lot of brass warming pans and me cutting cheese and onion sandwiches in a cotton frock.
Well, that's one dream I can't ever see coming true.
You've no need to rub it in. We never go anywhere together.
Nay, now, that's not true.
Well, can you remember when you last took me out?
Well,
No, you see, you can't remember. When I've given this matter some thought, the last time we went out together was to see Gone with the Wind. And Gone with the Wind has just had its 21st birthday.
I wouldn't care, but I'm itching all over.
Perhaps you've eaten something.
Oh, not me. The plainer I eat, the better I feel.
That's what I mean. What about that lobster your Lily's Wilf brought you?
Oh, there was nothing wrong with that. It was as fresh as anything.
Didn't look it to me. If it had been anybody but your Lily's Wilf, I'd have thought he was trying to make away with you.
Well, what was supposed to be wrong with it, then?
I told you at the time. It's expression.
Eh?
Never trust a scan-eyed lobster.
anything else?
Oh, good evening, Mr. Walker. 2 milk stouts, please.
Oh, Ena not with you tonight?
She is not.
It's perhaps a bit early for her.
What do you mean it's a bit early for her?
Well, I didn't want to make no trouble.
The trouble's already been caused, Minnie Caldwell. Did Ena Sharples or did she not start this rumour and set this snug in a panic about the street coming down?
Do you remember that time when the gas pressure was low and she made me sign that statement?
Falsify it, you mean? You know what happened there. She falsified it, and I bet it'll be on your conscience till the day of judgment.
Do you think there ever will be a day of judgment?
Of course I do.
I sometimes wonder.
They'll have a big black book and they'll write down all your sins. And then they'll decide whether you're going up or down.
Oh, I wonder if there'll be lifts. I can't do with stairs.
All depends which way you're going, doesn't it?
2 milk stouts.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. There you are. Thank you. Minnie, I'm going to tell you something I wouldn't tell just anybody.
Oh, do you think you should?
Yes, I do. I've heard it said twice. Not once, mind you, but twice. That a certain Glad Tidings committee have heard the rumours what a certain caretaker has been spreading, and they don't like it. They don't like it at all, Minnie.
Look, I don't care if you're going to borrow 20 cars, Michael Regan. I wouldn't trust you to drive me to the end of the street.
Hello, ma'am. Will you go anywhere you say?
I should always like this when they get together.
Yeah.
How's your sister getting on then, Harry?
Oh, so, you know.
Oh, it'll take her some time to settle in, won't it, and get in the run of things?
Yep.
Well, look, that's
I
it,
must
Michael
say that I
Regan.
wouldn't
That's
like to
just
take
it.
over.
Excuse me, look. Listen to me. All I want you to do, look,
Excuse me. You having trouble?
I'm not having trouble, and if I was, I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself.
Excuse me. Are you looking for some trouble, friend?
I got plenty of my own, thanks. Good night, Mrs. Walker.
Who's your friend?
Oh, just a fella.
Ah.
Well, I can have friends, can't I?
Oh, of course, but how close a friend is he?
And just what is that to you?
Oh, I can ask, can't I? It's just the way he rushed over to defend you, like.
Look, I don't need anybody to defend me, and don't take that for a come on.
Ah, that's me girl.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. I'm not your girl.
No?
No. And look, if you've any ideas about getting up to monkey tricks, then let me remind you that I have a long arm and I know how to use a bottle. Ah, no, Mike. Harry's a very nice fella. He's got a terrible lot of problems.
Concepta, listen to me. Have I ever told you about my problems?
Oh, no.
I know there's a little girl over in Dublin. And I don't...
Haven't you got a handkerchief?
Yeah,
Well, why don't you use it?
because I don't want to.
Look, this snivelling's getting on my nerves. Will you stop it this minute?
No, I won't.
I shall send you up to bed.
Just try it.
Look, love, why don't you just tell me what's the matter?
You know what the matter is.
That wasn't a very nice thing to say, was it?
When you go home to your own house.
Look, if I leave here, you'll have to go back to that place. You know that, don't you?
Oh, no, I wouldn't see. Me and my dad could manage on his own. We did at Christmas, you know.
I just hope you know how you're saying that makes me feel. That's all I hope.
Oh, don't you try, Auntie Alice, or I'll never stop.
You make me feel terrible. Terrible's not the word.
Have you not got thank you now? Here, have mine. It's just if you wouldn't boss me so much. I hate being bossed.
Well, we'll both just have to try a bit harder then, won't we, love? Oh, that is a lovely smile.
What are you wearing those heavy boots in the house for? What's the good of me buying you good bedroom slippers if you never use them?
Come on now, do as your daddy tells you.
He was talking to me.
Now look, we've
You
just...
see, she goes on and on at me all the time. Boss, boss, boss. She never stops. Why doesn't she go away? She's dead horrible. Huh?
I wonder where she can be. All I hope is we've got the thing.
What's that for?
Nothing.
You are a funny girl.
Listen, if we don't get number 9, well, we can try for a house somewhere else, can't we? What did they say? You can have it if you want it.
How much?
$5.75 and not a penny under.
Oh, I thought it was going to be more. That's good.
Hurry up, Linda, my hair.
Let's go to the corner now and have a drink on it.
Well, there's nothing I would like better, but I'm afraid I can't. Why not? Your mother has got a date. Hey, what was that? My carb. Steps up the colour a bit.
I've been wondering what's different about you. What have you done to your hair?
Back comb and lacquer. Do you like it?
Do you?
Well, 4 lads whistle when I come round the corner, so I think it's a success. Hey, Mrs. Snake, did they have crazes in your day?
My day?
Well, you know what I mean.
Jitterbugging skirts.
What were they?
Well, they was pleated all round. They come up to about here. No stockings, you couldn't get them anyway. And you had pants to match.
Yeah, but what were they for?
Jitterbugging in. Thick wedge heels with peaked toes and sling backs. We was mad on them too.
Was you?
Oh, you might have your back combing and your lacquering, but we went to town with the peroxide. Actually, round here, I was one of the original suicide blondes.
Good evening, Mrs. Snape.
Oh, good evening.
Cup of tea. What was you wanted?
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan, please.
Cup of tea and a red, white and blue.
Right, yeah. What are you going to tell me off about?
Who said I was going to tell you?
Why are you taking me to pictures and buying me ice cream?
I want to have a talk with you.
I knew I was in for a turn off. I knew it.
You will be if you keep on mithering.
It's got me bossy Auntie Alice Burgess, isn't it? What way did you Neapolitan?
Oh, you better ask her.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, you sound just like her.
Look, she's got a name. Why do you have to keep calling her?
Why do you think? Because I don't like her. Do you like her, Dad?
Yes.
Doesn't much sound like it. Right, it'll be 1 and 4.
All right, love. Can I get rid of some of my change?
It's all right, it's all money.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah, get on that side.
I can tell you don't really like her.
How can you tell?
You call her dear. Call all women you don't like dear. I said it last night to that woman at the corner shop, that Mrs. Lindley.
Aye, what makes you think I don't like her?
Because she's after you.
Now, look here, Lucy.
If it wasn't for your Auntie Alice, you'd still be in that orphanage. Isn't that what you was going to say?
Well,
It is, I know it is. Because she keeps saying it to me.
Now, look, things haven't turned out for your Auntie Alice like the way she thought they were going to.
I know.
Eh?
I said I know. She just gave me dead stingy Christmas presents. She always sort of hinted that one day she'd be giving me something smashing. Hey, it's funny that fella isn't leaving much, isn't he? Well, perhaps he didn't like her either.
Look, love, I want to talk to you like you was a grown-up. You don't want to go back to that place, do you?
No.
Well, you know, if your Auntie Alice goes, you'll have to go back. You know that, don't you?
Why?
Well, you see...
Well, when I was going back after Christmas, I asked if I could come home for good at Easter, and you never said no.
I'm blowed if I can remember what I said at Easter.
We'll have to see. That's usually fairly hopeful. You never said anything about her, only she didn't.
Aye, I know.
Well, why do we have to bother about her now?
Well, she's nowhere to go.
Look, what's on for me? Why isn't there for her?
Look, love, if I were to tell you that your Auntie Alice isn't very happy, that she hasn't had anything nice happen to her for quite a long time, would you try a bit harder?
It all sounds a bit like Jesus wants me for a son.
Now, that's no way to talk, and well, you know it.
What would happen to her if she didn't?
But she is staying. You can't mess people about. There are limits, you know. And you're acting up like this, it's not going to send her away. Now, you understand that, don't you?
Sitting that voice is supposed to do. Do we have to go to Lucy?
I thought you wanted to go to the pictures.
Can't we go to Baidu for a change? Smashing there, they show you a dead lot of trailers.
Had enough ice cream? Oh, come on, then, let's go. Right, love.
Try.
Temptation's a terrible thing, little lady. It's a terrible thing.
Oh, yeah, you're back then, are
Hey,
you?
Mrs. Slate, this man... Well, I don't like to
No
say it.
need
Well,
to tell me. That's my husband.
Who's the new bit of crackling, then, eh?
Oh, he's seen something, has he?
It's all in the mind, Sylvia. It's all in the mind.
Oh, I bet there's a few don't think that in Loughborough. Go on, Larry.
It's a conjugal right, my love. You can't deny me. Come on.
Ease off.
For richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. Remember your sacred solemn oath, Sylvia,
Go on
eh?
with you.
Ooh.
Oh. I don't believe you know my sister, Mrs. Seddon, do you?
Oh, you're the one that's always having a picture of the fifth for National Savings.
Oh, very nice of
Yes,
you.
I've noticed. Never the same dance frock twice. You got a medal from London too, didn't you?
Well,
But then your husband's on the council, isn't he? Yes.
Mrs. Sharples, I'm afraid we've got to talk to you.
Oh, we can't stand here then. Well, what do you want to talk to me about?
I'm sorry, but it's not a very pleasant subject.
I was wondering why you brought her. Are you really official?
I hold no civic rank whatsoever.
But you've come to intimidate me, I can tell by your hats.
I didn't come
You
here
and
to-
Eugents were always a big lot for family talk show. Funny, really, seeing that you both came from a paper shop.
Mrs. Sharples.
The committee feel...
Pardon?
Well, that was what you were going to say, isn't it?
Well, as a matter of fact...
Yes, it was. Well...
The committee feels...
Well, you've said that.
I-
I've said that bit for you. But if you'd learnt it, Pat, don't let me stop you.
Mrs. Sharples, I can see that you're a woman of the world, like me.
Am I? I don't quite know how to take that.
My sister is deeply involved in the running of this hall.
Well, I mean to say she's never done anything else, has she? Speaking as women of the world.
What Norah... What Mrs. Seddon is trying to say...
Well, go on, you say it for her.
You started a malicious rumour.
Hardly worth her while bringing you, was it? What rumour?
You know. Anyway, you've got to go.
Oh, yes. When?
We didn't think you'd accept it like this.
Didn't you? Mrs. expecting another medal from the Queen. God bless her in a minute now. If there was any of your committee big enough, they'd like to shoot me, wouldn't they?
A week.
And who do you think you're going to get to do it?
I shall cope for the time being.
I'm glad of it. That little baby linen shop isn't doing as well as it might, is it? Layettes is a thing of the past.
There's no need to descend to low insults.
I don't know anything to low enough to insult you with. You're too low to insult. Go on, get. Go on, get.
Oh, I don't...
Get out! I'm only human. But I wish I was in heaven.
It makes you wonder whether it's going to thin vests, doesn't it? I have heard it said that all this wrong way round weather we've been having has got something to do with the atom bomb.
Thank you.
You know, the more I think about the way Ena's behaved, the madder I get. I wouldn't care, but I know for a fact that she, in her own mind, she thinks she's beautiful. Oh, I wouldn't say beautiful, but she's a bonny woman. Bonny? Ena Sharple's face is so ugly it wouldn't make ear rolls. I've only met one woman plainer than her, and that's our Jessie. Oh, but your poor Jessie can't help it. Well, I mean, it isn't many women that fall through a garage roof. Well, is it? Oh, I forgot to tell you. Our Lily's having her extension. What's that? It's a glass and cedarwood sun lounge behind the wash house. Fancy. They send them out in sections, and our Lily's Wilf and their postman are going to erect it together. That's another thing Ena's jealous of. What? My son-in-law. Have you ever seen hers? No, come to think of it, I don't think I have. No, you wouldn't have. She keeps them very dark. Mind you, that's one thing I can't blame her for. Oh, why? Ooh, they're putrid. Her Madge is married to a man who's a verger. He breeds rabbits in the house. Well, you can imagine. What does Vera's husband do? Nothing if he can help it. Mind you, that's better than her first husband. He weren't all there.
Evening. Pint of bitter.
Pardon?
You heard, I don't boil my cabbages twice.
Suppose you know your own mind.
You might be wondering, Mrs. Walker, why one of your best mild and brown ale customers is suddenly hitting the draft bitter. Well, I'll tell you, my world has fallen in ruins.
Oh, dear, that'll be 1 and 4.
1 and 4. And you mean to tell me people play that much for draft beer every day in the week?
They do.
Well, all I can say is I hope it's not habit forming. On your feet, Minnie Caldwell.
I don't
I want to fight with anybody.
Well, you'll be straight in one if you don't get up out of my seat. I've got the sack.
Hey, Ena, no.
Yes. Well, they say war brings out the best in people and shows you who your true friends are. Which one of you's going to have me?
Was it before I still recall that sunlit mountainside? La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-la-dee-da-dum. Come in.
I can't, it's not.
Oh, I understand the reason why you feel romantic and so what do you want?
You've gone to the club. We've just come to see how you got on.
Oh, have a gin, have a whiskey, have anything you want.
Eh?
Yes, that's what he kept saying.
Did you have a good time? That's the main thing.
Oh, it was classical. It was like a prize for summit. You know, drinks before, wine with, liqueurs after, the lot. Mind you, I think he was swinging on his expensive
Why?
card. Well, he kept putting the receipts for everything in his breast pocket. He even kept the cloakroom ticket.
What on earth is that?
Oh, it's only one of the dustbin gangs.
What's that?
The dustbin gangs that go around knocking off dustbins, wrought iron gates and all if you've got 'em. Take notice.
Hey! Hey, you all right, mate?
Yeah.
Come on, this way. I'll take you near.
Oh, well, it's no good going getting romantic ideas.
Did he try anything?
Well,
He did.
one kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Dot, I told him I had to. I said, after all, I know we're not kids, but I am not absolute.
Oh, what's on
Oh, it's all right. You just take the paste in for some heads and I'll back in.
Was it money that was after?
No.
Well, what then?
Me, I suppose.
Well, whatever for. Dennis, go and put the kettle on and get the plaster out.
Yeah.
Probably something to do with me being in the police force.